So it's been a long time since the first time that I said I'm gonna upload this video. I think it's about a year now, but here we are now because we've had like lots of changes on the disco, and I think now it's the time that it's ready to have its proper walk around. So going from a Disco 1 to a Disco 2 is actually an easy process because they are basically the same platform, so it was easier to start on an already known platform for us. So it has been easy going to the Disco 2. A couple of accessories that we had on the Disco 1 actually went directly to the D2, like this ARB bumper, which was great. And the reason why we went for it is because we can find spare parts almost everywhere around Europe and around the world, but especially around Europe, which is like our main continent of travel. And so we went for this D2 because it is a bit bigger than the Disco 1 that we had. It's also diesel, so the fuel consumption is way less than the one that we had. So I'm gonna give you a few basic specs of the vehicle. We bought this one 2 years ago, and it is a 2003 Land Rover Discovery 2 with a TD5 engine, which is a 2.5 liter turbo diesel engine, and we haven't done any major modifications to it. It had an engine remap, which we have uninstalled because we want to keep it as simple as possible. So we haven't touched anything engine wise. We have changed quite a few things though, just to make it more reliable, because it had lots of kilometers when we first bought it. It had like 400,000 kilometers the day we got it, and we needed to change lots of stuff, mainly some engine coolant hoses and stuff, but other than that we haven't done anything to it. The thing that we have changed is the suspension, which I'm gonna go and talk about it later. Our main goal with this project was to keep it as simple as possible, although do the necessary modifications in order to make it more capable, but not overdo it and carry extra weight that we don't need, and also increase the complexity of the whole build, so it would be harder to repair on the trail. So let's start with the front of the vehicle. So starting with the front end, we've got the ARB bumper that we had on the Disco 1, and we just repainted it to match the color of the D2. So again, we have the same winch that we had on our previous build. It's the worn, I think it's the Xeon 10S, but I have to check that. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna add it on the video later. So yeah, it is the one with the synthetic rope. We are really in favor of synthetic ropes because they do save lots of weight. And then the lights that we've mounted here are the Steady Type X Pro lights, and we love them because there's lots of times where we arrive at camp during night and you do need that extra light in order to be able to identify and find your camp spot, also to drive and avoid any animal strikes while you're driving at night. And again, we have added these little steady ditch lights as well, which also help. And that's it with the front end. So let's move to the side and continue with our modifications. So we also got a few things on the side of the vehicle. First of all, it's the snorkel that we've added. It's the Safari snorkel, and the reason why we did that is not mainly for water crossings, but for getting clearer and cooler air into the engine. The tires that we're running at the moment are 265/75 on 16-inch rims, and they are the Falcon Wild Peak Materrains. Compared to the beef cooters that I had before, they're pretty similar. I think these are a bit more noisy. The next ones that we're going to be testing for sure are the Toyo Open Countries. But so far, 2 years with the Falcons, we're pretty happy with them. They are on the stock rims, we haven't changed them, and the suspension that we are running here is the Oldman Emu Nitrocharger suspension, and it's a 2-inch lift with heavy duty shocks, and We were expecting to have much more weight on the vehicle when we first started building it, and it seems that they are a bit rougher than we wanted, so probably we're thinking of going on for a medium load in the back, because when we started we had lots of extra things mounted and bolted on the vehicle, which we decided we're not using, so we folded them off, and now probably we're gonna have to downgrade to suspension as well. Going here, we've got my favorite addition compared to the Disco one. It's the Gullwing windows by Explore Glazing, and everybody knows what Gullwing windows are. I'm not going to explain what they are. It's just an opening hatch on the side, and it really helps when you have a station wagon vehicle because it adds a bit of extra more packing space. Right behind these windows here we have a huge dead space that we weren't using, and we thought it would be a great idea to take advantage of this space. And what we've done here is we have built an interior shelf, which we have our torches and everything and some camping stuff that we use around camp daily, so we need them and it's really easy to access it, like the Hawk's Nest shoe pockets, and we got some paper and some pegs and everything, and all the things that we are using around camp daily are going here. So great addition, and I really recommend using Gullwings when you have a station wagon. They do add some quite significant space. So from the side we jump on the top, and what we've got here is 278 degrees awning by Rhino Rack. The reason we went with this one against the freestanding one is because it's lighter, and we want to keep the weight of the roof as light as possible, given that we have all this stuff on top. And we have also 4 front runner load bar legs which hold the awning, and of course our rooftop tent, which is the Hawk's Nest V2 standard in the green color by Feldon Shelter. And I'm gonna climb down here because I might die. So the rooftop tent is the Hawk's Nest V2 standard green, again by Feldon Shelter. And I've got a dedicated video to that rooftop tent, so I'm not gonna spend too much time here explaining all its details and features. So you can go hit that link up there and see the video. And it's, as you know, we are the importers of Feldon Shelter in Europe. And we are here at Winch, and that's why this video taken a year to be uploaded, because we've been busy setting up our shop. And yeah, if you want to get a Feldon Shelter, go to our website and you can have yours. So moving to the back, as you can see here, it was a swing away arm with 2 jerry cans, which we have removed, and we changed the way that we get water with us, because this was really heavy and really far off the back of the vehicle, so it was not a great idea. We didn't like it, plus you had to open it every time you wanted to access the door. So this is now gone. And here we've got a crash pad spare wheel tire bin. So this is a must-have accessory for everybody, because you gotta have a space where you're gonna keep your trash, and having a wheel bag is great. So yeah, we got with this one, which also protects the tire from the sun. So going to the interior setup of the back, again we've changed a couple of setups to end up with this one. What we have here is basically 1 drawer. We had 2, we removed the other one because we actually saved almost 40 kilos by doing so. And we've got our ARB Zero fridge, our trusty fridge, which has been with us since our Disco 1 days, so more than, I don't know, 7 years, something like that. And here we've got our front runner boxes. So these go in here depending on the trip and the length of the trip. At the moment here we've got 3, and what we usually have on these boxes are either clothes or some cooking gear, and it depends on the setup of the trip. That's the great thing with these kind of boxes, that they are really versatile and you can like adapt it to the way of that particular trip. So let's remove a few. So that's how we usually travel. We've got 2 for our clothes, and they are the high lid ones, so they can fit lots of clothes. It doesn't seem that they do, but it's a great way to store your clothes. We didn't want to use, you know, huge travel bags, which we did in the past, because they take like a huge space in the rear seats, and we do want to have the rear seats in case we need to transport somebody. We see like somebody on the road who needs help and he wants to go somewhere, so we wanted to retain those rear seats. In here we've got our 11-liter Dometic water jug, which has this really cool electric pump, and it's with touch of a button you've got like water, and it is rechargeable, so it's really cool because you can take it wherever you sit and have it right next to you, wash like dishes or your hands and everything. And this thing is also magnetic, so it can attach wherever on the vehicle, apart from Land Rovers because they are made out of aluminium, so you cannot do that. So here on this drawer we've got everything related to cooking. So we've got our gas burners, and this is some cutlery, patches a must have for an Overlander. And right here we have our ARB twin air compressor, which is turned on by this button over here. And right here is the quick connector for inflating back our tires. So right here we've got all our electricals, and we just remove this trim here, and we have a Victron 110 amp hour battery. It's an AGM battery. We're probably gonna go for lithium in the future because these are really heavy. And right next to it we have the ARB twin compressor, and of course we've got our Red Arc BCDC charger, which also allow us to use solar charging, and we've got the port right there for that. And that's mostly it. It's really simple. We want to keep it like as simple as possible, and don't mess with the electronics a lot. Everything has circuit breakers and fuses everywhere, so you got to make sure that you do the electrical installations the right way. And moving to the other side, let's go first in here. We have our recovery gear, which is just an ARB recovery bag with some snap straps and the winch controls and everything that you need for your recovery. So up here we've got another favorite addition, which is this top shelf that we have here, and right in there we have two front runner chairs and our favorite camp roll, which we have like lots of things that again we use around camp daily. And this unrolls like so, and then you can just practically hook it wherever you want. What we do is we usually do it on the side of the disco, and then you just roll it back and we put it back up there. So this shelf up here saves lots of space, and again it's a great addition for station wagons because you take advantage of this space up here. As you can see, the Disco is a really tall vehicle, so it's great to take advantage of every square inch that you can. Also the front runner chairs, we used to have huge camping chairs with us, and we said that we don't really need them, so we prefer to go for these front runner ones, which are really small, and we can have them up there. So again, we the front space and the rear seats are clear of things. And here to the side, another favorite addition. So lots of favorite additions, but really love this build, and it's really it really works. So as you can see, this is a drop-down table by Bison Gear, and this one is specifically made for a 120 Land Cruiser Prado. And we took some measurements and we saw that it actually fits perfectly on a door of a Disco 2. So it has this nice MOLLE panels here. So we have attached our axe, and this is just a utility pouch which we use according to the needs of the specific trip, and of course our first aid kit. And this now, of course, is a drop-down table, which we use daily for cooking. Sometimes we even eat here. So it's a really, really nice space to have and work on. you need to have a free space that you can work in and cook and pack your stuff, so that works perfectly for us. So talking about the rear seats, as you can see, we still got them. We haven't removed them. On the T1 we did, but this is also my daily driver, so I wanted to keep the rear seats back there, and for the reason that I told you before. So the thing that we got here, the only thing that we've got here is our fire extinguisher, which is behind the driver's seat, and we've got a jerry can by Front Runner, is a 20 liter one. So from this one we refill the pneumatic jack, and if we're going a longer trip we either carry 2 of those or just a 40 liter water tank. So we go to the front, and what we've done with the interior of the front of the vehicle. So moving to the interior of the Disco, forget about the Grenadier hut. Done here is actually really simple. Again, we've changed the head unit for an Alpine Halo 9 head unit, which we use it to run our Gaia GPS maps, and it's a really responsive system, so it's really cool. Instead of carrying like a huge tablet right here, we decided to go with this one because it also incorporates Apple CarPlay, and it's really useful for us, and it really brings the Disco to the 21st century. Other than that, just our spotlight switch and nothing too specific. We've got these really cool North American spec cup holders, which are great because the initial Disco cup holders barely fit a properly sized coffee bottle. So we've got these and are great. Other than that, oh yeah, something really cool. We've got these Melvin and Moon seat covers, which are fantastic, and these are a gift by a friend of mine, Bartek Kolosowski. So he had it on his Disco too, and he was kind enough to, when he bought his 110, to give these to us, and thank you, Bartek. And they are great because they fit perfectly on the Disco. We also have them for the rear seats, and yeah, super happy with them. Other than that, I think these are the main modifications, like apart from some stuff that we did when we first got it, because it wasn't in a really good shape, so the whole roof line was down to our heads, so we had to replace this, and we replaced it with this really nice black fabric, which looks good. And these are mostly the modifications for the D2. So this was our walk around of the D2. I hope that I've covered most of the modifications that we've done. If I missed something and you wanted to ask about it, just write it down in the comments and I'm gonna reply for sure. Now, we have this vehicle for 2 years, and it has been great. It has been surprisingly reliable for a Land Rover, and I think we're just gonna keep it and put some more miles into it. Now, going to a next build, I'm not sure what it's gonna be. So we've got lots of candidates, and I think it's gonna be something newer than this one for sure. If we are to replace this one in the future, it's probably gonna be something, I don't know. We always loved the Ineos Grenadier, Broncos, and Land Cruisers, so there are a lot of candidates out there, but for now, let's put some more miles on the old Disco.